5 years ago, on August 18th, 2014, I lost my mom to suicide. At that point, I was closer to her than anybody else. We'd share all of our secrets, our hopes, and dreams together. She was and still is the greatest and closest friend I've ever had. I remember all of the small moments, the small details, from her laugh and sarcastic humor to her grit and determination. I remember the small moments, from a fully fledged grape war as we were racing down I-90, throwing grapes at my sister's car behind us, splattering grapes all over her windshield. I remember the big moments, like when she made me laugh so hard that I almost spit out my first communion all over the priest. It is all of these moments together, laced together, that have made the fabric of who she was and her story. Right now, we are facing an epidemic of mental health and suicide in our nation and around our planet. We are losing nearly 800,000 people to suicide each and every year. And in the state of Washington alone, we are losing nearly 20 people each and every single week. 2 of those 20 people are teenagers. Our communities are being devastated, and we need to back them up. For every single death by suicide, at least 6 people are intimately affected. And with newer statistics that are coming out, we are finding that hundreds more of individuals on top of those 6 people that are intimately affected are devastated by each and every suicide. And those who have lost someone to suicide are more than 70% as likely to attempt suicide themselves. This is one of the most vulnerable groups in our country and around the world. People like me who have lost their loved ones to suicide and have no idea where to turn or where to get help from. And so, my friends, I say to you that we have more work to do. More to do for the 16-year-old girl I met the other day who just lost her best friend to suicide and has no idea what to do. And more to do for the school counselor I met who doesn't have the adequate tools to protect his students in the wake of a recent suicide. And more to do for the 12-year-old little boy who feels scared and alone after losing his mama, his rock, to suicide. We cannot despair. Don't get bogged down by feeling this issue is too large, or that it is one of an ever-growing laundry list of issues that is just too much to fight for. There is so much power at each of our fingertips. I urge you to volunteer at the Other Six or other partner organizations, from Crisis Connections and TeenLink to Forefront and all of these organizations that we have. I urge you to go to events like the Out of the Darkness walks this September, or you can donate money to organizations that are on the ground, like the Live Hard movement or the Other Six. The greatest movements of our generations began not by the government or large corporations, or even to a certain extent nonprofits, but rather by individuals like you. And that is why today I'm launching a fundraising campaign for the Other Six to honor my mom and her legacy and the hundreds of other people who have lost loved ones to suicide. Our goal is to get 100 donations of $1 or greater by August 18th. $1 is enough to support one person to go to the Other Six's support groups for an entire month. $1 is enough to train an ambassador in not only how to prevent further suicides from happening, but to help in the unthinkable circumstance of their school losing someone to suicide, helping them be part of that larger social support network. $1 is enough to send a clear message to our communities most in need. I urge you all to go to theother6.org/donate today and donate $1 or more to help fight this ever-growing epidemic. We can do better than this, and we will.